A wide range of monsters inhabit the land of Weyard, and most take their names from different real-world cultures. Let's start by going through the monster families alphabetically. This will cover the real-world inspirations. The in-world explanation is the synergy stones during the Age of Alchemy, and following the Mount Aleph eruption, has mutated many of the people and animals of the world. Hence some of the cattle will transform into bullmen, or bats will grow scorpion tails. This entire family of monsters reference Zoroastrianism, the religion of the Iranians. Aka Manah is how the Zoroastrians describe malice or evil intentions. The manifestation of such things is known as Aka Manah, the demon. Druj is the word for lies and other deceitful behavior. Ashma is the demon of wrath and fury. All three resemble stereotypical satyr demons. In Japan they are all known as Bull Demon, Master Demon, and Archdemon. The first two are straightforward, but Archdemon refers to a high-ranking demon on par with the Archangels. The Amaze family are lanky ghost-like creatures. Amaze may take a similar inspiration as the ghost move Astonish from Pokemon. Ghosts are known for surprising people, and could leave you amazed. The level 2 member of the family, Creeper, refers to somebody or something that sneaks around and stalks you, much like a ghost does when it haunts you. The 3rd, 4th, and 5th members are all called some sort of spirit. Ghosts are spirits. The 4th, Shadow Spirit, and 5th, Dark Spirit, are different forms of the spirit enemy after being exposed to the Grave Eclipse. This family resembles worm soldiers with arms, likely a reference to Norse worms, dragons like Nidhogg, who is known to nibble on the roots of the tree Yggdrasil. The first worm is called the Angleworm, but this doesn't make much sense. It may be a situation of the LR mix-up, and maybe should be Angrer, a Norse word relating to intending to harm, grieve, or vex, and similar to the modern word anger. The fact both Nidhogg and Anger are Norse leads me to believe this is the case. The second worm may support this by being called Fireworm, and all these worms being Mars affiliated. Fireworm may also allude to Gehenna, an illusion for hell. Gehenna was a real place that became infamous for ritualistic human burnings to the pagan god Molech. As an illusion, Gehenna was said to be a place where worms don't die and fire isn't quenched. The final worm, Chimera Worm, also explains the arms in another way. Chimeras are mythical creatures that combine parts of different animals. In this case, arms on an armless worm. A similar family of arms also exists consisting of the grub, worm, and acid maggot, or worm, spearworm, and acid worm in Japan. This family is much less armored and armed, however, only having a spear attached to its body. This family resembles larval antlions, but looks nothing like the adult antlion that resembles a dragonfly. Fittingly, real antlion larvae dig sand pits to trap their prey. The second member of the family is called a roach in America, basically because the monster looks somewhat roach-like. In Japan, it is very fittingly called a larva. The third member of the family is called a doodlebug, which is an American colloquialism to describe antlions, because the larva will wander around looking for places to set traps, and the resulting path resembles someone doodling in the sand. In order, the ape family is ape, killer ape, and dirty ape. These names are very straightforward, just adding adjectives, and they all look like apes. They have a family ability called ransack though. This may be a reference to the apes going amok and killing and destroying everything they see in a bizarre case. This family of monsters resembles humanoid figures in Arabian garb. This is fitting considering the origin of the word assassin goes back to Arabian nations such as Persia and Syria, where a sect of Islamists became known as assassins. The second member of the family is called a slayer. A slayer generally refers to somebody who hunts and kills something specific, much like assassins kill particular individuals. The third member was going to be called dark murder, which isn't a thing. It just implies the monster is a sadistic, cruel killer. No reason to kill. These monsters are all based on the Salamander, a lizard often associated with fire in myths and legend. The first is called Avimander here, but Abyss Salamander in Japan. At first, you might suspect this is a BV mix-up, but Avi kind of makes sense as in Latin it pertains to grandparents, and it is summoned from the abyss by the old grandmotherly Obaba. The second member is called Macetail, or Hammer Lizard, alluding to the spiky tail these salamanders have. The third is called Bombander, or Bomb Salamander, alluding to the explosive fire powers it has. Apart from some mildly interesting name variations, the bats look very much like ordinary bats, with scorpion tails. The first member is called just Bat, the second, either Rabid Bat or Sea Bat in America and Japan respectively, but changed to Vampire Bat in Dark Dawn. Sea Bat made sense since these were fought at sea in the first game. And the third has always been known as Giant Bat. These are literally bees wearing armor. The first is called Stun Bee in Japan, and Drone Bee elsewhere. Drone bees are a thing, and they are male bees who just wander around looking to score with hot queens. The second bee is a Fighter Bee, a bee designed for war. The last in Japan is Kamikaze Bee, or Warrior Bee. Kamikaze fits because this bee, like real bees, has a suicide sting.
And remember, share everywhere if you care.